where are you right now? I'm looking at your backdrop. I take it you're on the
Yeah,
West Coast at the moment. Um,
we
I'm
are.
very curious about the state. Silicon Valley is always associated with San Francisco, which has had some challenges, and every different hub wants to be its own version of Silicon Valley. What is the future of the part of the world where you are right now? Both, what gives you pause and what gives you hope?
Thank you. Well, I'm originally from the East Coast. I'm originally from just outside New York City.
All
And
right.
I wonderful growing up out there. But my wife and I have been out here now for 35 years. Firmly ensconced in Silicon Valley. And honestly, Silicon Valley when I came out here, it was vying with Boston and Research Triangle Park and Dallas Fort Worth,
Right.
for high tech supremacy. And I would say that for the last 20 or 30 years, there's been no question that Silicon Valley is the leader in high tech innovation, and frankly continues to be. I would say it's almost never been healthier. Even though there are other hubs now that are being generated, Silicon Valley still leads. You're right. San Francisco certainly is has seen better days. Used to live in San Francisco quite a bit. I rarely go up there now. The city's in bad shape. Really, it's honestly city leadership that is
Yeah.
lacking. It really requires a refocus on quality of life in the city for the people who live and work in San Francisco. And undoubtedly, at some point, the city will elect, an administration that focuses on that. So we've seen that in New York. I remember moving away from New York in the '80s, and which is when Escape from New York, a famous movie, came out, and
Right.
we were
Right.
certainly concerned about that.
And
And
then
in the
came
period of
Giuliani, who was America's mayor. I
exactly
have to point out it was the man we talk about today is not the mayor that we were talking about necessarily in the late '90s. So
right, but within one administration, it went from being an extraordinarily dangerous and gritty town to becoming, adult Disneyland. I mean, really a
mhm.
safe and pleasant place to visit, where even young ladies could walk anywhere in the middle of the night and not be afraid.
Yeah.
I think San Francisco needs to go through a similar renaissance.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. So to finish up, let's. I always love to know what's on your radar that you would put on ours that we haven't addressed. Of course, we touched early on sustainability, and you are front and center, and I understand the role that your company plays in that. Is there anything else that you're keeping your eye on that we should too?
Well, I know you cover this in other areas, but I think digital currency is coming closer and closer. That's an area that I'm very involved in and engaged in. I do believe that that is another area that's going to create a huge amount of flexibility and efficiency in the economy overall.
It's got a
And I
bad
also believe
rap right now, right? It's
well, yes, for good reason. It has a bad rap for a good reason, but that is, there have been a lot of whenever you have something new, often you will have a lot of people with questionable motives getting involved in it. But that being said, the technology itself can be very solid and is certainly going to be part of all of our economic future.
Forgive me, I have to ask one. When you say you're fairly, in what capacity are you involved in it? Forgive my ignorance.
All right. Well, I was one of the founders of what's called the Digital Dollar Foundation, which
Ah,
I
mea
founded
culpa.
with my brother Chris Giancarlo, former CFTC chairman, and one of his partners, David Gorfine, and along with Accenture, we've been piloting experiments around the world with digital currency to really create an environment where we better understand what kind of effect it will have, both on our world as businesses, but also as consumers, making it easier to have payments around, making it easier and expensive to pay bills, to give money. It's been a fascinating journey, still a lot more to go. But very pleased with.
Okay, and this is
progress
accretive
we've
to,
had
this
so
is an
far.
addition, this is accretive to your day job, or it's in addition to your day job?
Yeah, it's my weekend activities. Yes.
Well, there you go, a man of many talents, and I really appreciate your good humor, your insights, and certainly helping us to see around the corners. So, Charlie, thanks very much for joining us.